Ladies and gentlemen, there is a force within you stronger than any obstacle, greater than any setback, and more powerful than any doubt. That force is your mind. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are the architects of your destiny. What you think consistently, you become. What you believe deeply, you attract. Success is not a matter of luck or chance. It is the natural result of right thinking. So many people walk through life defeated not because they are weak, but because they have not learned how to think victoriously. They carry within them hidden treasures of talent and purpose, yet they imprison those treasures behind walls of fear, doubt, and negative thinking. But I am here to tell you, when you begin to change the pattern of your thinking, you will begin to change the pattern of your life. If you will dare to believe in the greatness within you, if you will train your mind to expect the best, to see opportunity where others see failure, and to hold steadfast to faith even in the storm, then there is no limit to what you can accomplish. Success is not just possible for you. It is inevitable when you learn to think your way to it. Success begins in the mind. Long before any great achievement takes shape in the physical world, it first takes root in the invisible realm of thought. Every invention, every business, every breakthrough that has ever transformed the world began as an idea, a single powerful thought planted in the soil of the human mind. The most successful people throughout history were not always the smartest, the wealthiest, or the most connected. But they were people who believed deeply in what they thought. They nurtured their vision with conviction, watered it daily with confidence, and refused to surrender it, even in the face of difficulty. When you believe you can do something, you unlock the hidden power within you. That belief becomes a compass that guides your actions. It gives you courage to try, endurance to persist, and strength to rise after falling. The moment you say to yourself, "I believe this is possible," your brain begins to search for ways to make it real. Your energy shifts, your attitude sharpens, your entire being begins to lean forward in faith. That's not magic. That's the power of your mind aligning with your purpose, but the opposite is just as true. If you think you can't, if you fill your inner life with doubt and discouragement, you've lost the battle before you've even begun. Your thoughts either propel you forward or hold you back. That is why the first step toward any meaningful success is to think successfully. Let your thoughts become strong, clear, and intentional. Refuse to allow fear to dominate your thinking. Say to yourself over and over, "I can, I will, with God's help I shall succeed." You must train your mind like a gardener trains the soil. Uproot the weeds of negativity, pull out the seeds of fear before they grow, and plant thoughts of faith, confidence, love, and determination. Every day, reinforce those thoughts with what you read, what you listen to, and who you surround yourself with. You wouldn't feed your body poison. Don't feed your mind with it either. The great battle of life is often won or lost not in the boardroom, or the courtroom, or on the stage, but in the quiet place where your thoughts are formed. And here is the beautiful truth. You have the power to choose your thoughts. You can think on things that are noble, true, and uplifting. You can imagine great things for your life. You can picture yourself succeeding even before the evidence appears. That is not foolishness, that is faith. That is where every success story begins. So remember this. You are not limited by your circumstances. You are not defined by your past. You are only as limited as your thoughts. Begin to think strong thoughts, loving thoughts, courageous thoughts. Let your mind become the birthplace of your future, because success, my friend, begins in the mind, and once you believe you can, you're already halfway there. Change your thoughts, and you truly change your world. That's not just a catchy phrase. It's a profound truth that has transformed lives across generations. The thoughts you think shape the life you live. Every experience, every relationship, every result in your life is connected, directly or indirectly, to the patterns of thought that dominate your inner world. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. And you cannot expect greatness if your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, or bitterness. Positive thinking is not naive optimism. It's not pretending that problems don't exist. It's the deliberate decision to direct your thoughts toward strength, toward faith, toward possibility, no matter what the outside world looks like. It's choosing to believe in light even when the night is dark. When you develop the habit of thinking positively, you're not denying reality. You are reshaping it. Because how you think affects how you feel, and how you feel influences how you act. And actions, repeated over time, create your future. You don't attract into your life what you say you want. You attract what you consistently think about. If you dwell on problems, you will feel overwhelmed. But if you dwell on solutions, ideas will begin to appear. If you think about what you lack, you'll live in scarcity. But if you think about what you already have and what you are moving toward, abundance begins to open up. This is not just theory. It's a spiritual and psychological law that governs your experience. So if you want to change your world, begin with your thoughts. Start by observing them. Are they critical? Are they fearful? Are they defeated before they even start? If so, gently, but firmly, redirect them. Replace "I can't" with "I will try." Replace "this is hopeless" with God's help, I will find a way. Even the smallest shift in thought can unlock a wave of new energy and possibility. Speak words of life into your mind. Feed it with messages of encouragement, scriptures of hope, stories of triumph. Refuse to allow negativity a permanent place in your mental home. Let your mind become a place of strength, creativity, and confidence. Every single day, take time to renew your thinking, because a renewed mind leads to a renewed life. When you begin to think better, you begin to feel better. When you feel better, you act with more strength. And when you act with strength, you begin to change outcomes. Slowly but surely, the world around you begins to reflect the world within you. That's why the most powerful transformation begins not in your circumstances, but in your thoughts. Change your thoughts and you will absolutely change your world. Faith-filled thinking breeds confidence, and that confidence becomes the steady ground on which all great achievements are built. When your thoughts are infused with faith, real, living faith, you develop an inner strength that the world cannot shake. Faith is more than hope. It is belief backed by conviction. It is a deep, quiet assurance that what you need will come, that the strength will be there when you take the next step, and that a power greater than your own is guiding you forward. This kind of thinking doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you bold. It doesn't make you reckless. It makes you rooted. There is a kind of fear that paralyzes: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. That fear is the enemy of progress. It whispers lies in your ear and makes you question your worth, your abilities, and even your dreams. But faith-filled thinking silences that fear. Faith says, I am not alone. Faith says, this may be hard, but it is possible. Faith says, even if I stumble, I will rise again. When you fill your mind with thoughts like that, fear loses its grip. It cannot live where faith resides. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you grow, and the soil it grows best in is faith. Faith in your purpose, faith in your gifts, faith in the God who created you and placed those dreams inside your heart for a reason. Confidence built on faith is not shaken by the opinions of others. It does not need constant validation. It flows from the inside out, steady and sure, even when the path is not clear. When you begin each day with faith-filled thoughts, you walk differently. You speak with greater clarity. You look people in the eye. You move through your day with an expectancy that good things are coming, even if they haven't arrived yet. That mental atmosphere changes how people respond to you. It opens doors. It inspires others. It creates momentum. Faith-filled thinking also helps you keep going when nothing seems to be working. It whispers to your heart in the quiet hours, don't quit now. The breakthrough is closer than you think. Faith gives you the endurance to persist and the resilience to try again. It helps you see setbacks as setups, delays as divine timing, and hardship as preparation. If you want to build real confidence, not shallow, ego-driven confidence, but solid, deep-rooted strength, then build your mind on faith. Saturate your thoughts with truth. Repeat affirmations of victory, scriptures of strength, and promises of purpose. Remind yourself daily, you were made for more, and the power that created the universe lives within you. Faith-filled thinking is not just a mental exercise, it's a spiritual discipline. And when you live in it, confidence is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you carry, something you radiate, something you walk in every single day. Eliminate the word impossible from your vocabulary, because the moment you believe something cannot be done, you shut the door to progress. The word impossible is a wall that the mind builds to protect itself from the discomfort of challenge. But great lives are never built within comfort zones. They are built by men and women who refused to accept limits, who refused to be told what they couldn't do, who looked at the so-called impossible and said, "Watch me." Every breakthrough in history began with someone who didn't believe the word impossible. Someone who refused to let common sense define what was achievable. Someone who saw the same reality everyone else saw, but chose to think differently about it. They didn't allow fear to write the script. They didn't allow the opinions of others to shape their destiny. Instead, they reached deep into their mind and even deeper into their spirit, and they dared to believe that more was possible. The truth is, the only real limitations are the ones you place in your own mind. When you say something is impossible, your brain stops searching for answers. It accepts defeat before a single step has been taken. But when you remove that word, when you say, "This is difficult, but not impossible," your mind begins to work with you. It begins to search, to explore, to invent, to imagine. And in that space of possibility, the seeds of success are sown. The greatest enemy of success is not failure. It is the belief that success is out of reach. It is the quiet surrender that comes when someone stops trying. But the mind that refuses to accept impossibility becomes a force that nothing can stop. That mind is inventive. That mind is resilient. That mind says, if the door is closed, I'll find a window. If the path is blocked, I'll make a new one. And let us not forget the divine truth. What may be impossible for man is possible with God. When you connect your thinking to divine power, you rise above human limitation. You begin to realize that your vision didn't come from nowhere. It was placed within you by a creator who never intended for you to settle, to shrink, or to quit. You were not made to be limited. You were made to rise, to stretch, to grow, and to overcome. So, cast that word out of your vocabulary, tear it out of your thoughts, replace it with words like possible, opportunity, breakthrough, and solution. Speak those words into your day, your dreams, and your difficulties. And when the world says that can't be done, you smile and say, maybe not for them, but I believe differently. Because the moment you eliminate the word impossible, you make space for the miraculous. And that space, my friend, is where greatness begins. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, but only if you see it clearly and hold it consistently. Success is not just something you work for with your hands. It is something you build first with your thoughts and your imagination. Before anything becomes a reality in your life, it must first be vividly alive in your mind. That's the power of visualization. It is more than wishful thinking. It is focused thinking. It is seeing your goals so clearly, so precisely, so frequently, that your mind begins to accept them as real, and then goes to work bringing them to life. Each day you must take time, even if just for a few moments, to close your eyes and picture the life you are building. See yourself succeeding. See yourself walking with confidence, completing the task, winning the opportunity, overcoming the obstacle. Picture the conversations, the environment, the people around you. Bring it to life in your mind with as much detail as possible. The clearer the vision, the stronger the belief. The stronger the belief, the greater the action. And the greater the action, the closer you move toward your success. There is something extraordinary that happens when you visualize consistently. Your subconscious mind begins to align with the image you are holding. It starts working beneath the surface, quietly guiding your thoughts, nudging your choices, giving you the courage to take steps you would have hesitated to take before. You begin to recognize opportunities you would have missed. You begin to carry yourself differently. Your whole being starts to shift in the direction of that vision. Many people fail not because they lacked effort, but because they never had a clear image of what success looked like for them. They drift through life with blurry goals and vague desires, and they wonder why nothing changes. But you, if you will choose to see clearly, can create with precision. Think of a builder. No house is constructed without a blueprint. Your mind is the architect, and your vision is the blueprint for your future. Don't let the world's noise cloud your vision. Protect it, nurture it, return to it daily, and speak to it with faith. Say to yourself, this is who I am becoming. This is the life I am building. This is what is unfolding for me. Let that vision become your compass. Let it fuel your decisions, shape your habits, and ignite your discipline. No matter how big your dream is, it can begin with a single mental picture. You don't need to see the whole path. Just see the next step. And when doubt tries to blur your vision, when fear tries to steal your focus, return to your mental image and remind yourself, what the mind can conceive and what the heart can believe, with God's help, you absolutely can achieve. Keep your vision alive. See it every day and walk boldly in its direction. The people you allow into your life and the input you feed your mind have an enormous impact on your success. You may have great potential, strong desire, and even a powerful vision. But if you surround yourself with negative voices, with people who constantly doubt, criticize, and discourage, your progress will be slowed. Your mental atmosphere is just like a garden. What you plant and what you allow to grow will determine the fruit you bear. And just as a gardener protects the soil from weeds and pests, you must protect your mind from toxic influences. Every day we are being shaped, either built up or torn down, by the environment we place ourselves in. That includes the conversations we engage in, the books we read, the content we consume, and the people we spend our time with. If you want to think clearly, positively, and powerfully, you must be intentional about who you allow into your circle. You cannot fly like an eagle while walking with turkeys. If the voices around you are constantly speaking fear, doubt, and failure, those messages begin to seep into your thinking. They weaken your resolve. They dim your vision. But when you surround yourself with people who lift you, who believe in you, who challenge you to rise higher, you begin to think differently. You begin to believe more. You begin to see yourself through their eyes, capable, resilient, and full of promise. Sometimes one encouraging voice is all it takes to shift your perspective and reignite your fire. A single sentence spoken in faith can cancel 100 doubts. It's not just about people, it's also about input. What are you listening to? What are you watching? What kind of thoughts are being planted in your mind through what you consume? If you want to live a victorious life, feed your mind with victorious messages. Listen to uplifting speakers, read books that inspire and empower you, immerse yourself in environments where faith, hope, and possibility are the foundation. Creating a positive mental atmosphere doesn't happen by accident. It requires daily discipline. Just as you wouldn't leave your door open for anyone to walk into your home, don't leave your mind open for any thought or influence to enter. Guard it, filter it, choose wisely, speak to yourself with kindness. Surround yourself with people of strong character, positive energy, and unwavering faith. Let their words and actions become the wind beneath your wings. And remember, even when you feel alone, you are never truly alone. You can always invite the greatest influence of all into your mind and heart, God Himself. His voice speaks strength, peace, and truth. Let His word be your constant companion. So choose your influences like your future depends on it, because it does. Fill your life with voices that lift, with words that heal, with people who see the greatness within you. Your thoughts will rise, your confidence will grow, and your life will begin to reflect the powerful atmosphere you've created. There is tremendous power in the words you speak, especially the words you speak to yourself. Your thoughts shape your reality, but when you give voice to those thoughts through affirmations, you take them from the invisible realm of belief into the audible realm of intention. Affirmative thinking creates energy. It builds momentum from the inside out. When you begin to speak life into your goals, something changes. You don't just think differently. You feel differently. You begin to act with more strength, more purpose, more confidence. Because the words you speak have creative power. Every time you declare something positive about yourself, your mind and body listen. When you say, "I am strong," even if you feel weak, your mind begins to search for reasons to believe it. When you say, "I am moving forward," even if things feel stuck, your spirit leans in that direction. These are not empty words. They are intentional declarations that activate something within you. You were created with the ability to speak and believe, and when those two things are aligned, nothing can stop you. Many people go through life repeating negative affirmations without even realizing it. They say things like, "I'll never succeed," "I'm not good enough," "This always happens to me." These words drain energy, they steal motivation, they reinforce failure before action has even begun. But when you replace those patterns with truth-filled life, affirming declarations, the energy shifts. You begin to feel it in your posture, in your emotions, and in your mindset. You begin to expect more. You begin to believe that what you say can and will come to pass. Start your day with affirmations of power. Say to yourself, "Today is filled with purpose. I am equipped. I am guided. I have everything I need to succeed." Speak not only to where you are, but to where you are going. Say, "I am becoming wiser, stronger, and more focused every day." Speak to your future and bring it closer through the words you choose. Affirmative thinking also strengthens resilience. In moments of setback, when you feel like quitting, speak words of courage. "I may have fallen, but I will rise. I am not done. My best is yet to come." These kinds of declarations stir up a force within you that refuses to give up. They reignite the flame when it begins to flicker. They remind you that you are more than your circumstances. You are a child of God with purpose and power. The energy you create through affirmations doesn't just stay within you. It moves out into the world. People feel it in your voice. They sense it in your presence. You begin to attract the very things you speak. That's why it's so important to guard your words and make them work for you, not against you. Speak life daily. Speak strength boldly. Speak faith continually. Affirmative thinking is not just a technique. It is a habit of victory, and when you live in that habit, you unlock a flow of energy that drives your dreams into reality. Setbacks are not signs to stop. They are signals to grow. Life will not always go according to plan. There will be detours, delays, disappointments, and moments when everything seems to be going in the wrong direction. But what matters most in those moments is how you think. If you allow a setback to become a stopping point, it wins. But if you choose to see that setback through a triumphant mindset, it becomes a stepping stone. The way you interpret challenges determines whether they will define you or develop you. A triumphant mindset does not ignore pain, it overcomes it. It looks directly at the mountain and says, "This may slow me down, but it will not stop me." The person who thinks victoriously doesn't wait for things to be easy to stay encouraged. They dig deep. They remind themselves that every difficulty carries the seed of potential within it, that with faith, effort, and endurance, something good can come out of something hard. When you refuse to surrender to frustration or fear, you take back control of your direction. Many people let one failure convince them they're not capable. One rejection and they give up on their dream. One closed door and they say, "It wasn't meant to be." But that is not the voice of a champion. The triumphant thinker says, "I will try again. I will learn. I will rise. And I will not quit until I reach what I know is possible." This attitude doesn't come from wishful thinking. It comes from disciplined thinking. It comes from choosing again and again to focus on progress instead of pain. Think of every great story of success, and you will find behind it a series of setbacks. What separates those who make it from those who give up is mindset. A triumphant mindset rewrites the narrative. It says, "This obstacle is my training ground. This challenge is building something in me: patience, resilience, character, wisdom. And when you begin to think that way, even hardship becomes part of your momentum. You may not be able to control what life brings, but you can always control how you respond, and your response, shaped by your thoughts, will either move you forward or hold you back. Don't waste energy asking, "Why me?" Instead declare, watch me rise again, watch me grow stronger, watch me turn this pain into purpose." That kind of thinking shakes the dust off your dreams and lifts your eyes back to the horizon. God never promised a life without struggle, but He did promise strength for the journey. So when you face setbacks, lean into that strength. Train your mind to see beyond the immediate problem and into the future promise. Keep your head high, your heart strong, and your thoughts fixed on triumph. Because when you face challenges with that kind of mindset, you will not just survive them, you will overcome them, and you will come out better, wiser, and stronger than before. Let God be your partner in thought, because when divine guidance fills your mind, confusion begins to clear, fear loses its grip, and purpose takes root. On your own, your thinking can become clouded by worry, doubt, and the limitations of what you see around you. But when you invite God into your thoughts, you tap into wisdom beyond your own understanding. Your mind becomes more than a tool for analysis. It becomes an instrument of faith, direction, and power. Scripture says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." That means your thoughts are not just passing notions. They are a reflection of who you truly are and who you are becoming. When your thoughts are partnered with God, they are elevated. They are infused with truth. You begin to see things not just as they are, but as they can be through the lens of divine possibility. You stop asking, "What can I do?" and you begin to ask, "What can God do through me?" That shift in thinking opens doors. It moves you from striving to trusting, from stressing to resting, from surviving to truly living with purpose. God doesn't just want to be a part of your life on Sunday or in times of crisis. He wants to walk with you in your thoughts every single day. He wants to guide your decisions, strengthen your focus, and lift your spirit when you feel low. When your thoughts align with His truth, you start thinking with confidence. You think with love instead of bitterness, with courage instead of fear, with hope instead of despair. Invite Him into your mind each morning. Begin the day with a simple prayer. "Lord, guide my thoughts today. Help me to see what you see, to think how you think, to love how you love." Then pause, listen. Be still. The world may be noisy, but the voice of God is clear to the listening heart. In that quiet connection, He will speak peace to your anxieties, direction to your confusion, and strength to your doubts. And when the challenges of life press in, when the pressure builds, when you're not sure what to do, remind yourself, you are not thinking alone. You have divine partnership. You have access to perfect wisdom. You have the mind of Christ. That means you can stay calm under pressure. You can be kind in the face of conflict. You can be decisive when others hesitate, because your thoughts are rooted in something higher. God's truth doesn't just inform your mind, it transforms it. And a transformed mind leads to a transformed life. So walk through each day with your thoughts in sync with His Word. Fill your heart with His promises. Meditate on His goodness and let His Spirit renew your mind daily. When God is your thinking partner, nothing is impossible. Your thoughts gain clarity, your heart gains peace, and your life moves with purpose and power. Thinking is the spark, but action is the fire. Right thinking sets the direction, but it is only through bold, decisive action that dreams become reality. You can spend hours visualizing success, filling your mind with faith, repeating powerful affirmations. But until you move your feet, nothing changes. Faith without works is dead. It's not enough to simply believe. You must act on what you believe. You must take the thoughts that stir your spirit and give them life through motion. There are many people who have beautiful thoughts, big visions, and strong desires, but they wait. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or a guarantee of success. But that moment never comes. Waiting becomes a habit, and their dreams begin to fade. But those who understand the power of action know that even the smallest step, taken in the right direction, can open doors that seemed sealed shut. Right thinking gives you the map, but right action puts you on the road. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward in spite of it. When you act on your faith-filled thoughts, even with trembling hands and uncertain steps, you send a signal to your mind and to the universe that you are serious about your purpose. You build momentum. You learn through doing. You grow through experience. And each act of obedience to your own vision strengthens the foundation of your confidence. Don't wait until everything is perfectly aligned. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The truth is, clarity often comes after action, not before. When you step out in faith, even when the whole picture isn't clear, you show God that you trust Him. And He honors that trust with open doors, with divine connections, with unseen help. Right thinking tells you the direction to go. Right action gets you there. Speak your vision, yes. Visualize it, yes. Pray over it, absolutely. But also get up, go out, write the plan, make the call, start the project, learn the skill, take the risk. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates miracles. One right action today can lead to 5 more tomorrow. And when you act on the thoughts you've affirmed, you begin to live with integrity. You're no longer just talking about your dreams. You're building them. You're no longer just thinking about the future. You're shaping it. You're living in alignment with the vision in your heart, and that alignment is powerful. That is when breakthroughs begin to happen. So do not let your powerful thoughts stay locked in your mind. Turn them into goals, into habits, into results. Let your thinking lead to doing. Let your faith lead to action. Let your belief lead to boldness. Because your destiny is not only shaped by what you think, it is fulfilled by what you do. Step forward, even if it's only one step today. Keep moving, keep building, keep acting. That is how thoughts become reality. That is how faith becomes fruit. That is how you think your way to success. By acting on the truth you already know. Believe with all your heart. Act with unwavering faith, and know this: when God is your partner, nothing can stand against you, and the best is always yet to come.